Hey, what is up, everyone? It's Ben Foggin's Media Corner back again with a brand new AK After I Saw review episode for today. This is going to be my review on the film that was released last year in 2021, which this one I was dying to review this film. I really wanted to review this film straight away after I saw the film, but I had a few things on my plate, which was me being busy with work and also seeing some new stuff at the time. But since I'm off work, I feel like I should get this review over and done with. So today's review is going to be my review on the 2021 superhero film, and this is the 10th installment of the DCEU, while also being a standalone sequel to the 2016 film, and that is, of course, The Suicide Squad. This was written and directed by James Gunn, who, of course, you may know him as the writer and director of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, as well as being the director of Slither and Super, as well as being the producer of Brightburn, and being the writer of the two live-action Scooby-Doo movies. So now he's doing his own take on the Suicide Squad, which in this movie we see a group of convicts which consist Harley Quinn, once again played by Margot Robbie, Bloodsport played by Idris Elba, Peacemaker played by John Cena, Polka Dot Man played by David Malchin, Ratcatcher 2, who's played by Daniela Melchior, King Shark voiced by Sylvester Stallone, and a whole bunch of other convicts that we've seen from the last movie, as well as some new ones that we've never ever seen before. In which, in this movie, we see these group of convicts. They are assigned on this task, which is led by Amanda Waller, once again played by Viola Davis, who assigns them to basically travel to this island in South America where they have to destroy the evidence, which involves this giant alien starfish named Star of the Concord. Which they have to destroy the evidence, otherwise it will fall into the hands of the government, which they will use this giant starfish to destroy a city. So basically, it's up to these group of convicts to basically form as a team known as the Suicide Squad, in which they are also accompanied with Colonel Rick Flag, who makes sure they will behave. He's once again played by Joel Kinnaman. And also they have like detonators inside of the heads of if they screw up the mission, they will instantly die. So we see these team try and work together, and hopefully they can save the world. So that's pretty much the story of the Suicide Squad. For my opinion on the first Suicide Squad movie that was released back in 2016, I remember seeing that movie in the cinemas in that year. I remember seeing it with my best friend to celebrate his birthday. We both went to see it together in 3D. And when the first time I saw the film, I remember enjoying the film, and I even remember enjoying the film again when I did get the Blu-ray for Christmas. But since recent years, after a few rewatches, my opinion doesn't really hold up well for that film, because my opinion has kind of changed on the film. I don't hate the movie like some people do. I'm just totally mixed on the film, because there was a few things I did like in the film, but there's definitely a lot of problems with that film. But back in 2018, when I did hear we were going to get a new version of the Suicide Squad, I was really excited to see what this new take was going to be like. And for having James Gunn behind the camera, I was even more excited, because I'm a big fan of his works. You know, I really enjoy both of the Guardians movies. They're just, you know, fun, exciting superhero films in the MCU. And for the cast who were involved with this film, you've got some old faces coming back to do this one, like Margot Robbie and Viola Davis and Courtney and a few others. And you even have some new people in this film, like Idris Elba, John Cena, Michael Rooker, Pete Davidson, David Malchin, and Sylvester Stallone, and a whole bunch of other people. I was really excited to see what this new cast was going to be, what this new cast was going to do for James Gunn's take on the Suicide Squad. And when the trailers dropped by, I was really hyped for this movie, because the way it looked, I was like, this is going to be the best superhero film of the whole summer. And I remember seeing this movie. I went to see this movie in the 6th of August of last year. I went to see this in IMAX, and my screening was really packed. There was a lot of people who were really excited to see this movie alongside with me. And after walking out of this movie, I gotta say, you guys, this movie was awesome. And this is definitely one of the best superhero films of last year, and even one of the best movies to be released in the summer. I can definitely say it was one of the best movies to be released back in the summer of last year, because this movie had everything I really wanted to see in the original Suicide Squad film that we didn't get, because this movie was violent, it was hilarious, and it was just a fun ride of a movie, yeah. And I can definitely say it's even better than the 2016 movie. And hell, I even love this movie a lot more than Birds of Prey, which for that film I enjoyed that one a lot more than Suicide Squad. But for here, this one I loved a lot more than those two films, yeah. There's definitely a lot of things to enjoy out of James Gunn's new take on the Suicide Squad. Like, the cast all around this film, everyone's terrific in this movie. Margot Robbie's terrific once again as Harley Quinn. And for what she was given in this film, I gotta say I loved it even more than I loved it the first time around in the first Suicide Squad film, and even Birds of Prey. But in here, I loved it even more. Like, for her in the action sequences, she was awesome in this movie. And for other old cast members in the from the first movie, you've got Viola Davis. She was great once again as Amanda Waller. Courtney was great as Captain Boomerang, and Joel Kinnaman as Rick Flag. He was great. And for the new cast in this film, like Idris Elba as Bloodsport, he was awesome in the movie. He was absolutely terrific in this movie. John Cena as Peacemaker, he was a lot of fun in this movie. He was terrific in this movie, and he was awesome for the action sequences. And he even butt heads with Bloodsport in this film, when we see them butt heads with each other in this film, showing off where they show off one another, saying who's the best at shooting and all that. And for scenes like that, I just couldn't stop laughing my ass off. And for the new cast in this film, you got David Moulton, who plays Polka Dot Man. He was loads of fun in this film, and when we get to see him in action form, for the kind of action he does in the film, it was insane. It was really insane. And for Daniela Melchior, who played Ratcatcher 2, she was great in the movie. Sylvester Stallone as King Shark. He was the biggest show steal here in this film. I love King Shark, and I can't wait to see what they will do for this character in the future, because I would love to see more of this character in the future, because I loved King Shark. Every time he was on screen, I just couldn't stop smiling my face, because I loved every single moment with him, because he was just so funny in this movie. And and for the action he does, it's absolutely bloody insane. And for everyone else in the film, they were all terrific in the movie. And for the villain in this movie, Peter Capaldi, who he plays the villain in this film, named The Thinker, who he looks like Pinhead. He is great in the film, but I only have one problem with him, is that he's not in the movie that much. That's the only negativity I only have with this film. But still, though, everyone's great in the film. And for James Gunn's direction in this film, it's got a lot of high energy to it. He directed the hell out of this film. For, like, the action sequences, they're insanely bloody and really over the top for the amount of blood and guts that are thrown right in your face in this movie. In which, that's what everyone wanted in the first Suicide Squad film, but unfortunately we didn't get that. But for here, James Gunn, he definitely plays. I can definitely say he plays the fans here, because he just delivered so many fun action sequences that are just extremely violent and over the top. And I was just having a blast watching those scenes, because when I was eating my popcorn, I almost choked watching every single bloody carnage moment in this film. And for his writing talent in this film, it was terrific. He's developed these characters so well done. I can definitely say they will definitely be memorable in the future. And I would love to see more of these characters in the future here, because I really got invested with these characters here. And James Gunn, again, he did a terrific job for his writing talent from that. And also for when it comes to its humor, there's a lot of irreverent humor in this film. Like, every single moment in this film that has irreverent humor, they were absolutely hilarious. I couldn't stop laughing my ass off. And the film, it is pretty well paced as well, since this movie's only 2 hours and 12 minutes. For when it goes slow down a bit, it does manage to pick itself up to get into any violent action or anything like that, or anything towards the final act of the film, which can be unpredictable. And there are some unpredictable stuff, which again, James Gunn did a fantastic job from all of that. And in the end, guys, the Suicide Squad, it was everything I wanted the first film to be, which unfortunately for that film, we didn't get what we wanted to get the first time around. But for what James Gunn did, he did a fantastic job. And I can definitely say he has definitely pleased the fans here. And if you missed a chance to see this in the cinemas, you'll definitely have an absolute blast watching this at home with either your friends or your family. Just for not for the young children, since this movie is incredibly violent. So that's pretty much all I have to say about the Suicide Squad, other than this was just a fun superhero movie for last year for myself. I'm going to give the Suicide Squad 4.5 out of 5. Awesome score. Despite having one negativity with this movie, I still had a blast this one. It's definitely one of the best superhero films of last year, and definitely one of the best movies to release the summer of last year, alongside other movies that were released around the summer that I can definitely say were the best alongside with this. So yeah, thank you so much for watching for my AK After I Saw review on the Suicide Squad. And let me know what you think of this, if this release, if you have seen this before, or if you just recently watched this for the first time. Did you have a blast with this, or were you very disappointed with this? So again, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more reviews, and as always, this has been Falcons Media Corner signing off.